Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boy Marcos 2205 numbers after the name. Little games beating action right here, you know what I'm saying? Talk a little bit about the game we beat. Try to beat a game every week. Give you guys a quick little video, quick little update on what I'm up to and whatnot on my impression of the game. In this case, we got PS4 exclusive. I think it's still a PS4 exclusive. I'm pretty confident about this. Until Dawn came out probably like 2 summers ago maybe, and it was kind of like a hit when it came out, you know. People weren't really expecting it. I believe it's supposed to be a PS3 game, and then it ended up getting remade, or, you know, they kind of scrapped it. It was completely different, and they went for this kind of arc storyline, whatever. It mainly all revolves around the idea of a butterfly effect, where one decision could affect a bunch of different things without you obviously knowing that, and you kind of see the repercussions of your decisions as you progress through it. It's not too long of a game. Honestly, I think you kind of beat it in 10, 11 hours. It's a pretty quick game, and it goes by pretty quick. You know, you're mainly just doing the story. The gameplay is just kind of looking at stuff and picking stuff up and reading stuff. That's kind of the main gameplay loop. There really isn't too much in terms of action. There's some very minimal shooting and whatnot, and the game really falters in those aspects. So this is game 18 of number the game 18 of the year right here. Hopefully we can still get snipper clips up here some point. I'm gonna sit down and now I'm gonna get the footage, man, because I be snipper clips a minute ago. I don't got no footage on it. Anyway. Until Dawn, I might end up giving it a 7.5 out of 10. Probably like more like a 7.2, 7.3 though. Let's go with 7.2 out of 10. 7.5 seems a little bit too high for me, man. The character arcs and the story is fun and witty, and you know, it's pretty much just your prototypical characters that you'd see in your cheesy horror flick, you know, in a Friday the 13th or something like that. Like, you know, these guys kind of fall into that. There's some twists and turns that you don't expect. It's cool. It's fine. All that part is what makes the game great. Graphically, it looks amazing, by the way. It's also a very good-looking game. Not Uncharted 4 quality, but, you know, it's definitely one of the prettier things I've seen on the PS4. And as it should be, you know, there's really limited as to what could even, like, what you're even, it's not like it's rendering like a world like The Witcher 3 or something. Like, this is a very contained environment that you should be able to maximize your graphical capabilities. Where the game really falters to me, and where it just ugh, is the gameplay. And it's kind of difficult to say that about a video game, since, you know, gameplay is kind of what we do. But let me explain that a little bit. You know, the butterfly section effects, those are all cool. I have no problem with that. Even the walking and stuff like that, it feels a little bit awkward. You kind of get used to it, and you kind of figure all that stuff out. What was unacceptable to me, though, is when the gameplay affected the narrative. So, I picked out this video here in particular, and I didn't actually want to show the running sequence. It's just, you know, for spoiler purposes, I guess, or whatever. But mainly, this girl gets kidnapped or whatever, and you have to run after her to, like, save her. Well, it's a bunch of quick time events, kind of, that lead you up to that process. And in one of the quick times, I was supposed to try, I'm going to hit, like, square accidentally. Cause, hey, stop me if you've heard this before on my channel. If you watch any of my other videos, you will know that I suck with a PS4 controller. I've just never really used the PlayStation controller too much. Every time I do, it's, you know, couple hours here, couple hours there when I play a game, and then I'll put it down. I'm actually gonna play Zombie Army Trilogy coming up here with the PS4, so I'm interested. I really haven't played too many shooters per se on the PS4, but that's a sniping game, so it might be a little bit different. So, you know, I kind of know where the buttons are generally laid out, but I don't know 100% of the time. Especially in those quick time events, it really caught me off guard. It's something I see in a lot of these games. I don't want to put Telltale games kind of in. They're different, you know, a lot of aspects from this. But in that sense, it's very similar, where those decisions come and you have to pick, like, quickly. Thankfully, the decisions you have here, you could take your time and pick and think about, which is cool. Except for when they're quick time event decisions, when you're, like, running or something, there's an action going on. And I lost this character because I didn't hit this rock in time. I did everything else right. I picked all the other choices right. Everything was okay. My intention was to save her, but I didn't hit this quick time event, and she died. And I had that happen for multiple characters, where I missed a quick time event. Not a decision that I made. I was cool. I killed off some people with decisions. I was like, nah, bro, screw you. You dead. That's fine. But, you know, either I just didn't go and, like, explore that one corner where there was an item there or something like that, or there was a quick time event that killed him. And that, to me, really sucked the life out of the game, you know. And specifically with this chick right here, her names I already forgot because she died so early on in the game. But I kind of sat there and I was like, well, what's the point of like investing in character? Like, it's a little bit random. It's a little bit of that. And I didn't really care much for the Mass Effect 3 kind of ending dilemma that happened where people were like upset about it. To me, it was the end of the game and that was it. But I do understand people's frustration where you're led to believe that, you know, you're making all these choices throughout the transcourse of the game that will like affect the situation, only to find out like when she dies, or in the case of Mass Effect, that it all comes down to that one little thing. So when I found out when she died, I was like, oh yeah, you didn't get there in time, and da-da-da. And I'm like, you didn't get there in time? And I was like, oh, that's right. I was like, I tripped over a rock. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, bro, but I hit everything else perfect. Like, come on, B, like, what's up with that? So, you know, overall, I think it's a good experience. I definitely recommend it, even playing with like a couple friends or something over making the decisions. I think that'd be cool. Make sure whoever's on the sticks actually knows how to play with a DualShock. Your boy Margos, man. Deuces.